speech, Anne will tell this. In tonight's speech, Anne will tell the story of negotiations between her split personalities, the sport personality and the Toastmaster Anne personality. In the opening comments, Anne will speak in the first person. As she describes the negotiations between the two personalities, she will speak in the third person. Please pay close attention when she describes negotiations between the two. Anne is working in the Dynamic Leadership Path, Level 3, Negotiate the Best Outcome. Anne Golden, Sports versus Toastmasters. Sports versus Toastmasters, Anne Golden.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This past week was extremely stressful for me. I needed to negotiate with my sports personality to finish this speech for tonight. And before I continue, I want to introduce you to my sports personality. Can everybody see? The dilemma I faced had the sports personality in control of my thinking, interfering with Toastmasters Anne's personality ability to write this speech. My sports personality is a lifelong Phillies baseball fan. The team is in the playoffs. That's right. We're in the playoffs for the first time since 2011. And guess what? My sports personality, me, I am also an Eagles fan. All right, sports personality, you promised. All right. If you are aware of the Phillies sporting events this past weekend, you know it was a monumental weekend for fans supporting Philadelphia sports. My sports personality was highly excited over the weekend, with the Phillies winning against the Atlanta Braves and advancing to the National League's National League Championship Series. Then Sunday night, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated those hated Cowboys to remain unbeaten. Can you understand? When I attempted to sit down Monday to continue to write my speech about negotiating the best outcome, my thoughts hit a brick wall. Tuesday and Wednesday was here before I knew it, and the National League Division Championship against the San Diego Padres was on television. My sports personality completely controlled our dual personalities those 2 days. Watching the playoff games, I couldn't get my thoughts in. I could not concentrate on my speech. I became anxious and very upset Wednesday night because the writing was still in draft form and nowhere near completed. And Ann Gilson wanted my information by Tuesday, and this was Wednesday. I was in trouble. Toastmaster Ann decided it was time for action. Time to regain control of her dual personality. It was time for Ann's Toastmaster personality to speak to Ann's sports personality. And Toastmaster Ann took advantage of the Phillies losing Wednesday night to speak to Sports Ann after the game. She planned to use a win-win negotiation style because this is the one most successful, they say, because it's always one that is amendable to all parties involved. She figured she could get Ann to agree. Sports Ann. Toastmaster Ann called for Sports Ann to make herself present. Sports Ann, I need to talk to you. What about? Just come forward. Toastmaster Ann empathized with Sports Ann by saying she was really sorry that the Phillies lost on Wednesday. She explained that the Phillies postseason play is interfering with Toastmaster Ann writing her speeches. Toastmaster Ann wanted Sports Ann to go away for a few days. She told her to recoup from the Phillies' loss. In reality, she wanted her thoughts back. Sports Ann was free to go anywhere on vacation she wanted, just as long as she released herself from their dual personality thoughts. Sports Ann got excited that she could get away because that game really depressed her. She agreed to leave Toastmaster Ann to her thoughts, to give her the thinking space, enabling her to complete her speech. Now for the challenging part of the negotiation. The date for Toastmasters Ann's speech is Friday, October 21st, the same night, the very same night that the National League Championship Series resumes in Philadelphia. And guess what time the game is? 7:30 at night. Only one personality can be active from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Only one personality can control. Once Sports Ann agreed to take that vacation, Toastmaster Ann, and I mean bravely, because Sports Ann can really go off on the deep end when it comes to her Phillies, bravely approached her to discuss the Friday night dilemma between them. She expressed her gratitude to Sports Ann for deciding to leave her alone for a few days. That's always a good way to start, right? Compliment the other party. Toastmaster Ann told Sports Ann she would be in a Zoom meeting on Friday night, and the meeting was 7 to 8:30. Realizing the implications, Sports Ann looked at Toastmaster Ann in disbelief and said, "You're not the fucking game. It's on at 7:30. I must watch that game. I didn't ask you to join me." Anyway, at this moment, Toastmaster Ann interjected, using her collaborative negotiation skills. This is the style where both parties would concede to reach an agreement. Toastmaster Ann suggested they watch the Phillies pregame together. However, at 6:50, Toastmaster Ann would need to shut that TV off because she needed to sign into her Zoom meeting. Then, after the meeting at 8:30, they could watch the remaining of the game together and the postgame live. Toastmaster Ann promised Sports Ann she would have her undivided attention for the remaining games in this series. Sports Ann took several minutes to give this offer some thought. She debated with herself. She did not like the idea of missing part of that game on Friday night. Yet, Toastmaster Ann did give her permission to go away on vacation, which she desperately needed. Two things would happen if she agreed to compromise. She would get the full attention of Toastmaster Ann to enjoy the rest of the playoffs with no interruptions. And she would be supporting Toastmaster Ann and what she needed to do for herself. From this perspective, Sports Ann understood the benefit to both personalities. Therefore, she told Toastmaster Ann they had a great compromise. Oh, I almost forgot. How would the compromise benefit both parties, both personalities? That's to be continued with another story. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.